everyone, and welcome back to Talk Wordy, my hub for all of the words that I read, write, or otherwise want to yap about. Today is a very, very highly anticipated, so special episode, solo episode specifically, that I have been dying to record, and that is my official off-campus Amazon Prime adaptation deep dive, debrief, discussion. We are going to talk all things off campus. As we see here on my beautiful little side desk, I'm back in my studio, and I have all of the books here, not including the Briar U books. I have the off-campus books in the Legacy. I have so many other Elle Kennedy books on my shelf, which we will discuss another day. But for today, I have a detailed account of notes that I want to get through, talking about all of my thoughts on off-campus. So the first thing that needs to be said before I get into my deep dive is, did I like the adaptation or not? No, I did not like the adaptation. I freaking loved it. You guys, I understand that it is not like 100% accurate to the biblical text of the off-campus series, but the changes that were made, I actually really liked. I love when TV adaptations specifically, movie adaptations I'm a little bit more particular about. So if a movie deviates from the book, it's a little harder for me to get behind it. But when it's TV and you have to expand everything, I honestly love a little bit of originality, and I just think that this show puts such a fun rom-com touch on books that don't really give me rom-com. They just give romance, if that makes any sense. It's a small distinction, but you'll understand what I mean when I get into my notes. So without further ado, let's get into it. I have prepared notes so that I stay on track and so that this episode isn't 4 freaking hours long. You're welcome. Okay, so this is divided up into different categories. And so the first one I want to talk about is casting. So I'm going to go through the leads pretty much one by one and discuss my thoughts on it. So let's talk about Ella Bright as Hannah. When the cast announcement post was made, and it had all of the headshots kind of, side by side in this little collage, I thought that they absolutely nailed her. I knew nothing about her. I knew nothing of her prior experience. I only saw her picture and I was like, thank God they cast a real human woman for this role, especially because there's so much humanity that is uncovered when we learn more about Hannah, specifically in her traumatic experience. And I loved that they cast a woman who actually has a normal body, okay? She worked wonders for the Big Yitty Committee, which I feel like I am the treasurer of. This woman was Hannah Wells to me. From the minute I saw her cast photo to finishing out watching the first season of this series, I thought she was the perfect cast. I absolutely love how she performed musically, but also just reactionally as a normal acting person, character. I think that she embodied it so well, it felt like watching a self-insert, okay? Here's the thing. This is not necessarily a bone I have to pick, but it's just something I've noticed. Authors, when they're talking about their inspiration for their characters, they always pick hot people, okay? Let me just preface this. Ella Bright is a beautiful woman, okay? Beautiful. But I feel like a lot of times when authors are putting together their cast inspirations or their fan cast, they pick people who are hot. The distinction between those two traits of beautiful and hot is hot focuses on sex appeal. And I do not think that specifically for Hannah's character, that's what we need to focus on. And so with them casting Ella Bright, I really think that they did a great job of focusing on internal and external beauty rather than sex appeal. Really appreciated that. I also just really related to Hannah's character in the book, but when the TV adaptation came out and Ella took over that role of Hannah, I feel like I was watching myself. Again, just her body composition felt very similar to like how I look and feel in, a bra or jeans and a tank top, or, fill in the blank. Bodily, I related to her. I relate to her in a music standpoint. I'm a writer, but I've also done songwriting. I've been a choir kid my whole life. Like, watching her journey and like also emotionally in relationships and trying to be secure in her individuality. Holy crap, you guys. I thought I was watching myself. Genuinely, I have never felt more represented in a media piece besides my own diaries, maybe ever. So, mad props. 10 out of 10, dare I say 11 out of 10 casting for the role of Hannah. Okay, next up, Garrett Graham. Holy crap, Belmont Cameli can get it. He was such a great casting choice. Also, if you didn't know, let me educate you. He's sort of an angel. So in some of the shirtless scenes in the show, I noticed he had almost like little dimples around parts of his abs. And I was like, that's so interesting. I've never seen like ab dimples. That's weird. Turns out they are scars because he donated a kidney to a stranger. Fun fact, he was originally going to donate his kidney to someone he knew, but he learned that he wasn't a match for that person. So he donated his kidney to someone who needed it anyway. I need you to let that sit for a minute. Literal angel on earth. Hot and nice. Wow. Generous. Incredible. God spoiled him. Okay. I remember seeing his headshot and I was like, okay, again, a lot of these actors I knew zero knowledge about. Like, absolutely nothing. I had their picture to go off of. And so I was like, okay, I could see how this works, but I was a tad hesitant. And I was a tad hesitant because then I saw the cast photo for the guy who's playing Dean, and I was like, wait a minute. Hello? Like, how do I measure them? And I didn't want to measure them based on looks, but it is all I had to go off of at the time. I am so glad that he proved the teeny little bit of doubt in me wrong. 10 out of 10, far better than what I imagined in the book. I don't know what I was imagining Garrett Graham as in the book version, but it was not Garrett Graham who was on my television screen, and honestly, it's for the better. This is a TV adaptation and a casting that peels away my image of who I imagined in the book, and I'm happy about it. So, yeah, loved him. Okay, I'm going to botch his last name, but the guy who plays John Logan, Antonio Cipriano, I think it's Cipriano. He's Italian. You guys, 9 out of 10. I'm really excited to see him. And also, let me preface, I am not ranking them out of 10 on how attractive I find them. I'm rating them based on how I think that they embodied the character that they were playing in the adaptation. So 9 out of 10. There's a little bit of mystery still left for John Logan, and I'm really excited to see how that plays out in season 2, especially with the casting of Grace Ivers being announced. I don't remember the actress's name, but seeing them on that like Zoom call when he got to tell her that she got the role, I already think their chemistry is really good together, and I think that that's going to put in that little missing piece that I need from him. In the book, I imagined him like way beefier than he was in the show. Again, another casting in the show that I'm happy repeals what I had imagined from the book. I am not displeased whatsoever. Antonio is a theater actor and a thespian, if you will. He has an incredible singing voice, okay? So I hope somehow that shows up in the show. I don't care how, just make it happen, please. If you know the Renee Rapp drama with him and In the Kitchen, you know, and if you don't, go look it up. It's a very, very deep rabbit hole. But he is loyal. Antonio's portrayal of John Logan, mind you. He is loyal. The yearning was incredible. He made these like small changes and adaptations to how he would respond. Specifically, I want to talk about the change where Hannah kisses Logan instead of Dean from the book. And if you watch that scene over, because she just kissed Garrett and then Logan walks in and she's like, oh, like he's just proving a point. And now I'm going to prove a point too. I'm going to kiss you. And so she kisses Logan. If you watch that scene, you'll notice that like after the kiss is over between the two of them, he's still like leaning in as if he is just shook. I feel like that's the moment where he's like, oh, I'm locked in on this girl. Because if you don't know, he has a crush, both book and TV show, on Hannah. And I think that's the moment that seals it. Like, it takes him a while to pull away from the kiss. Oh my gosh, so good. Yeah, but 9 out of 10. Okay, let's talk about Mika as Allie. Absolute 10 out of 10. I was concerned at first when I saw her picture, not that she's not gorgeous, because she is, but in the most superficial way, or in the least superficial way, I guess, she wasn't blonde. And I was expecting them to like dye her hair. But also it like, I don't know if that would like suit her skin tone really well. She's gorgeous. But yeah, she didn't match the physical description that we had gotten in the book, but holy hell, her attitude screams Allie. Truthfully, she was one of the first characters in the entire show where once we got like a taste of them, I was like, oh, you're Allie. Even with Hannah, it took me a little bit to be like, okay, like, yes, she is the Hannah that I remember from the book, which, you know, slow burn, it's fine. Allie, immediately, I was like, oh, I am very familiar with you and your game. This is Allie Hayes. I'm absolutely stoked. So, she's all in. Yeah, incredible. I don't really need to say that much about, Stephen Kylan, who plays Dean. 11 out of 10. He absolutely embodies the F-boy mentality. It is preposterously good. Also, he looks so good with his hair dyed blonde. So glad that they made him blonde. Love that he is the tallest and the beefiest. Incredible. No notes. Truly. Okay. Let's talk about the most hot button topic regarding casting of the main characters, and that is Jalen Thomas Brooks as Tucker. Okay. I will probably mourn the loss of a Southern redhead man for the rest of this series. I will, because I loved him in the books. I loved him. And listen, I love Jalen, but I love Jalen versus book accurate Tucker for very different reasons. I think Jalen really helped establish the comedic relief without focusing on like the sex aspect. So like obviously Dean is the playboy, he's the F-boy, he will run through the entire female student body. Okay, we get that. And then Logan has a PhD in journalism. Okay. You see the categories. I feel like the other three boys have romantic roots in their characterization versus Jalen's portrayal. It feels aromantic. I don't see him bagging women or bagging anybody at all right now. And you mean to tell me this is the guy that's going to knock up Sabrina James in book 4? Make it make sense, please. Just make it make sense for me, because I'm a little confused. But beyond that, I love him. He's such a bro's bro, but he's also like really respectful. He gives mama's boy, but like not the kind of mama's boy that makes you want to like break up with them and like roast their mother on the internet. You know, like just really sweet, Southern, hospitable. I loved the Thanksgiving dinner scenes with him and all of the timers and the cooking and him in that stinking little pink apron. Like, he's so cute. He's gonna grow on me. Okay, I know he will. For now, I'm going to give him like a 7.5 or 8 out of 10 because I can respect what he's doing, but I feel like he's going to be the biggest slow burn, like character enjoyment for me because he was such a polarizing cast pick. Okay, moving on. Whew, okay, so those are my thoughts on the casting. Now I want to talk about the book nods. Okay, the number one thing I want to talk about is that the fruit hazing that Bo and Dean do to Tucker represents the growing size of a baby when he knocks up Sabrina. Also, please do not like enforce political correctness about the fact that I'm saying knocked up. It's just I too am Southern. I too am from Texas. We say when we are pregnant, whether it's an accident or intentional, we are knocked up. So do not come for me. But yeah, the fact that like the fruit hazing, like it gets larger and larger and larger, like that is quite literally what people represent the baby growing in their womb size wise as. Like it starts as a grape, then a strawberry, then a kiwi, then, moving on, the banana, and then the watermelon is the last one. I thought that was so funny. I don't remember that being in the books. Also, these beautiful books, I read them a long time ago. You see how they have the old covers? I am an OG. Okay? Do not get it twisted. So I don't remember if there was specifically the hazing part. I want to say no because Bo Maxwell is not that prominent of a character in the books. Mad respect to the casting, or not the casting, but like the crew, the showrunners, the editors, the writers for making Bo more prominent of a character. But also screw you because Dean's season. That's all we have to say. Anyways. The fruit hazing, absolutely hilarious. I love getting to educate people on the fact that that's what it's referring to. It's referring to the fact that when he and Sabrina are finding out they're having a baby, they measure their baby in the size of fruits. Anyways, moving on. I personally loved the alteration of the hands-off law. The campus-wide hands-off law in the books is really, really hilarious and such a great moment, but I think even Belmont mentioned this in an interview too. He specifically was like, the characterization of Garrett just does not want to have control over her, especially knowing what she's endured. That's like toxic of him. And I like that it was a misunderstanding from some of like the freshman hockey players. I appreciated it, but I love that in the biblical text of the book, we still have him invoking the law himself. I love that. Okay. Obsessed with the fact that You in Your Hand had a karaoke moment. Well, not a karaoke moment. So Justin's band played the song at the fundraiser or whatever, but Allie did cue it up. She requested it. Love that nod to the book. Because in the book, oh my God, I had to like put the book down and just giggle for 5 minutes straight. So glad that we didn't lose that. And then also, if not number one, number two book nod is like the raffle prizes and the silent auction thing that was happening at the fundraiser. And the winner was Grace Ivers. I loved that so much. Oh my gosh. I heard Grace Ivers. I was watching with my friend Maddie and we were on the couch and we basically like slapped each other like, oh my gosh, Grace Ivers mentioned. For a second I was like, no way is she going to pop up because she just found out that she got cast, but still thought that was so funny. Literally, I saw an edit where it was Dean reading off Grace Ivers' name at the fundraiser, and then it went into Ray's song and be like, your husband is coming. I would like a ring. I would like a ring. I would like a diamond ring on my finger, or diamond ring on my wedding finger. However the song is. I would like a diamond ring on my wedding finger. I would like a big shiny diamond that I could walk around and talk about it. Ooh, oh my gosh. Yeah, John Logan, your wife is coming. Anyways, that's what she said. Okay. Before I get into my theories, and I only have two of them. as of right now. I just want to say that I've been listening to a lot of party music lately, inspired by all of the party scenes in the shows. First of all, I want to go to a house party so bad. I don't know why. I just really I yearn and long for sticky floors and somebody spilling their drink on my white tank top and revealing my black bra. Also, why was she wearing a dark colored bra under a white tank top? Absolutely criminal. I do not care if she was wearing a denim suit over top of it. Also, can we please get the links to the bras that Hannah was wearing in the shows? Because, wow, I found one of them and it was like $135. And I wanted to throw up. But anyways, I've been listening to a lot of party music. Yeah, let's get back on track, Sydney. I've been listening to a lot of party music, specifically Pitbull. I was shocked that the Pitbull version of On the Floor was not in the show. I understand that she was J-Lo, and therefore it was going to be like the J-Lo parts of the tracks. But like Pitbull's part when Dean like comes in and like gets up on her would have been cinematic, you guys. Like she's dancing to J-Lo, he comes over, and then it's like I'm loose and everybody knows I get off the chain, baby, it's the truth. Yeah, like why did we exclude Pitbull from the narrative? And then it got me thinking, I need Pitbull music in a TV adaptation religiously. Oh my gosh, especially in Dean's season. Can we get Damn I Love Miami? And but I got big decisions. I got 2 brunettes and a blonde one. 2 brunettes, that is Garrett and Logan, and a blonde one is Dean. I got big decisions. I got 2 brunettes and a blonde one. Like literally that meme of that girl who's like cupping the faces of 2 guys and like she kind of looks like Kate Middleton. You know what I'm talking about? That meme. That's literally me with Garrett Graham and Dean De Laurentiis. Let's talk about my 2 theories for this show. Okay, sit with me. Hunter Davenport. Okay, Hunter Davenport. I don't know what I imagined Hunter Davenport being, but it was not preppy cricket player looking guy. You're telling me that this cute, I mean, he's handsome and suave, but like this little shrimp of a man outskated Dean Hayward De Laurentiis? You've got me effed up. He just gives pretty boy daddies money. I'm sorry. I think it was the fact that he wore a sweater vest or had initials stitched onto a crew neck. That's giving privilege. Anyways, moving on. Hunter. My theory is that Hunter Davenport at the bar when Allie is with Joanna Maxwell, so with Beau's older sister, I have a theory that Hunter recognized Beau's sister with Allie when Allie was like, yeah, my friend is, encouraging me to like hook up with somebody, blah, blah, blah. I think Hunter recognized Joanna and thought, oh, if I get with Allie, this is going to get back to Beau and it's going to bother him, because I assume that Beau also doesn't like Hunter because Dean definitely doesn't like Hunter. So I think that he was like dead set on pursuing Allie in the context of a meaningless hookup or whatever to bother Beau. And then when he found out that she was more so like with Dean, it was just like 10 times the reward to him. So that's my first theory. It's never confirmed, but that's my first theory. My second theory, I really do believe in my heart of hearts, is that John Logan knew that Garrett was with a girl in his room upstairs, the cherry pie scene, when Hannah came over to do tutoring. And so because he was starting to yearn for Hannah and have a crush on her, he sent her up to his room anyways, knowing she would walk in on Garrett like that. You cannot change my mind. I am convinced that he set Garrett up to fail. Change my mind. You won't. Okay, those are my 2 theories. And then my last main chunk of this episode is talking about music. Like I said, I relate to Hannah in the fact that I'm a big music gal, both instrumentally, like composition wise. I also just love listening to music. I feel like my brain prioritizes room and space for song lyrics and its emotional impacts more than anything else. So like all the concepts of like math after 7th grade, gone, replaced by song lyrics. So I had so many things to say about the soundtrack. All of them are positive. Truly, the bitch is back. Holy mother forking shit. I love The Bitch is Back. The Bitch is Back might be my favorite use of music in the series thus far. Especially because something about Hannah that I relate to, probably the most about Hannah that I relate to in a music sense, or maybe even just generally, is that she sang harmony to that song. So she wasn't singing it like she was the star. She wasn't singing melody. She was singing harmony to express herself. I have the worst habit, whether I'm alone or with people. And I say it's the worst habit, but you know what? I will die on the hill of doing it for the rest of my days. I sing harmony to everything. It's the alto 2 in me. It's the mezzo soprano in me. It's the perfect pitch girly in me. Yes, I do have perfect pitch. That's not like a flex in this context. It's just to say, because of that, I know how to adapt to harmonies. I will sing harmony on anything. Don't ask me to step in the spotlight and sing karaoke, sing melody. No, I will sing harmony to anybody. And so her singing harmony to The Bitch is Back. First of all, The Bitch is Back. Incredible music pull. So bloody good. I love it because, you know, sometimes I'm like, oh, they did this song on Glee. They did it on Glee, but it was a mashup with Dress You Up in My Love. And it was mid. It was okay. But it didn't even get to the chorus of The Bitch is Back. Like the, I'm a bitch, oh, the bitch is back. Like, it didn't do that part. And so when she's going harmony, she's going, I'm a bitch, oh, the bitch is back. Like, oh, I love her. I love her voice. I love her character. I love how much fun she had with it. I actually love The Perks of Being a Wallflower. So songs that make me feel infinite or like make me want to like scream and sing and like stick my head out of a sunroof, those are called tunnel songs. So the Bitch is Back has been on my tunnel songs playlist for ages. And I love that it is getting its flowers now. Okay, let's talk about Baby Now That I Found You. I think it was so cute. I love how she was able, when she sang it in the stadium or the arena, whatever, it was like stripped away and piano keys. It was really kind and soft and subdued, yearning. I love that, but I love that the original version was used before the you show me and I'll show you scene that I can't talk about on the airwaves because holy crap, it was hot. Anyways, I like that the original version was like very bright and upbeat and silly and fun, carefree. And then the mood changed when Hannah adapted it. I loved the use of that. Anyways, Bitch is Back, 12 out of 10. Now That I Found You, I thought it was really sweet. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 just because it's not my all-time favorite, okay? Like, it worked in the capacity. I feel like there was a different song that they could have picked, but I loved what they did with the song that they picked. So, Now That I Found You, 8 out of 10. Cherry Pie, oh my gosh. Cherry Pie, in addition to having tunnel songs, I have what I like to call lake music. So typically it's dad rock, yacht rock, classic rock, 70s, 80s music. It's the music that my dad would play on the boat when we would go out on the lake growing up. And Cherry Pie was on that playlist. And so it was funny because I was like, oh my gosh, this is like it's making me think of the best times of my life, but she literally just walked in on Garrett Graham eating out another girl. Like, what do we do with this? So it was a little bit of a clash in my brain. The karaoke scene where she sings Cherry Pie and she's like, oh shit, Graham, you know this one? It was so good. Oh, I love her for that. But truth be told, I thought she was going to sing the Pina Colada song. I thought she was going to sing Escape. Because she was drunk off of like 4 pina coladas. But honestly, again, it's one of those things where like the showrunners made the right pick and it was good. Her performance of it was awesome. For someone who had never recorded music in a studio before, she killed it. Okay, moving on. On the floor, 11 out of 10. Again, you know what? Let me break it down. 9 out of 10. Perfect in the scene, subtracting 1 for the absence of Pitbull, like I mentioned earlier. The original song at the end, do I remember what it's called? No. 9 out of 10 for the plot. But I would give it like a 6 out of 10 for general listening. My friend, when I was watching it with her, she made such a really good, astute point of like, it's really good for the plot. But would I reach for that song if I was just needing to listen to music? No, not really. If it comes on, I don't think I would skip it, but it was cute. It was really pretty, but like it fit more in the context of what was going on in that story, if that makes any sense. It doesn't feel like it would be a universal listen. So that's that. Yellow Haze wanted to be Purple Rain so bad, and instead it came out like piss. 1 out of 10. Yellow Haze wanted to be Purple Rain so bad. That's one of my like most critical observations of this show. I really liked Justin's voice, or Josh's voice. I like how he embodied the change from, because in the book Justin was a football player, but now he's a musician, so that he and Hannah like cross paths or in closer circles. So I really liked what he did for that character. And his slutty little hoop earring. Amen. Yellow Haze, they were like, we want to talk about the aura of love. Why would it be yellow? Yellow is not falling in love. Yellow is taking a piss at 3 a.m. while your husband is sleeping. Yeah, no, nuh-uh. So 1 out of 10 for that one. And then lastly, let's talk about the teaser trailer tracks. That right there is a tongue twister. I'm so glad that I was able to say it correctly. 50 million out of 10. I will fight to the death for Hush Baby Hurry Slowly by Sigrid. When that song was used in the first teaser, if I was at work when I saw that, I would immediately clock out and just take some time to decompress, because that song does something to me chemically. I had never heard it before the trailer came out. And it was so damn captivating to me. That song also has made my Tunnel Songs playlist. Literally, as soon as the trailer was over, I was like, Tunnel Song playlist, add. That song is straight fire. So fire, it needs no gas. I don't know if I said that right. Oh well, moving on. And then In Every Lifetime by The Tulips, or by Tulips, in the second trailer, like the longer trailer. Such a cute song for a rom-com TV show. Oh my sweet Lord. Whoever did the scoring of this show, like the soundtrack, give them a raise. Give them, I guess it would be an Emmy, because it's TV. Yeah, give them an Emmy, give them a Golden Globe, give them a raise. Like, can we also talk about some of the other things that were in this soundtrack? Let's talk about Bed on Fire during the, like, steamy montage. Let's talk about Role Model being in there. Shape-shifting on a Saturday night. When I heard my girl Avery Corcoran start singing Shape-shifting on a Saturday night in the last episode, I screamed. Shape-shifting on a Saturday night was an amazing poll. Let's talk about Massachusetts. Oh my God. Dancing with Myself. Remy Wolf, and not just Remy Wolf one song. We're talking Remy Wolf multiple songs and an actual physical appearance on the show. Taste. The use of Cinderella by Remy Wolf when Allie is about to hook up with Dean. Oh my God. The director really said take 5, and the scoring soundtrack person said change lives. What else? Oh my God. You probably didn't hear it in the show, but I did, because my ears perked up like a dog when Love Me Different by Hayley Williams came on. Hayley Williams' new album, Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party, is such a subdued version of her, and it is exceptional. One of my author pals, Lauren Rowe, actually put me on that album, and thank God for that. Love Me Different is one of my favorites from that album. And it was just barely playing behind like a scene of dialogue. And I need you to go stream that song. So good. Yeah. Vertigo by Griff. when she's going to his house? Pardon? Maggie Rogers back in my body during You Show Me and I'll Show You? The Beaches. Hello. Zombie Boy at the costume party? Shut the front door. And then freaking Suki Waterhouse on the track. And Somber! Somber was on the soundtrack. Zero notes. You cooked. That's the last thing I really have to say. I cannot stress to you the importance of how a soundtrack makes or breaks a movie or a television show. And you want to know why? Not a single Twilight movie flopped soundtrack-wise. In fact, this soundtrack made those otherwise tacky movies cinematic masterpieces, timeless classics. I listen to the Twilight albums regularly. I'm talking at least once every 2 weeks, top to bottom. So good. This soundtrack 8. In my dream world or in another life or in another reality, I moved to LA and I score soundtracks to whatever. These kinds of soundtracks specifically, because my friends will testify. I can find songs that people don't hear about often and they just match certain situations in romance media specifically exceptionally well. Yeah, I loved everything about the soundtrack. I loved the show. I need to rewatch it. I also love that because I read these a long time ago, I didn't reread them before the adaptation came out, and that was for the best because I had enough lack of comprehension to be totally fine with the changes. I know people who read these books like they were studying for a board exam before the show came out, and then when there were inconsistencies or things in the show didn't match what was in the books, they threw a hissy fit. Not one hissy fit was thrown in this house. Not one. I was not upset by any of it. I absolutely loved it. I adored it. And now I need to go to a hockey game, even though hockey season is over, which is really depressing. But thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. If you loved the off-campus adaptation, let me know in the comments or on my social media at TalkWordyPod. I would love to talk all things off-campus, books, TV show, casting, music, whatever. Additional theories, please. Yeah, you guys, this was a lot of fun. I miss doing solo episodes, and rest assured you'll be getting more of them come the fall. I still have a lot of Love Lit Con interviews I need to crank through. But once they are finished, it's back to occasional author interviews and solo time with your girl while I talk wordy to you. Okay, that's super dorky. I'm going to end the episode now. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to follow the podcast on social media at TalkWordyPod, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!